ritualistic behaviors, the putting girls in the suitcases.
Jaguar Wright is allegedly saying Jay-Z offered Blue Ivy at Epstein-linked ritual parties, and that the only reason she wasn't used was because she was already considered too old. And once that accusation hit the internet, a lot of Jay-Z's recent moves started looking less like confidence and more like damage control. And the way he's been moving only made people stare harder. Then he shows up front row at the Super Bowl with his kids. Front row, cameras everywhere, daring the crowd to say something with Blue Ivy right next to him. And people clocked it immediately. Not as a proud dad moment, but as a calculated flex meant to shut people up before they even open their mouths. Fans online were already saying he brought his kids so nobody would heckle him, because who's going to boo a man while his children are right there? And that's when the tone turned ugly. One comment that blew up straight up said they wonder if Blue Ivy knows her father is named in Epstein files and accused him of sleeping with girls younger than she is. People who've been watching him for years didn't shrug it off. And that's where Blue Ivy gets pulled into it, because this wasn't the first time people felt uneasy about how she's been presented. Grown silhouettes, cleavage at a young age, adult styling while she's still a child, and every time it gets brushed off as fashion or confidence. But screenshots don't lie, and people have been pointing out that she's been dressed like a grown woman since she was little. Then the Mufasa premiere happened. Blue Ivy walked out in a strapless gold gown at 12 years old, and the backlash was instant. One viral comment pulled over 25 million views, saying the way she's being sexualized by her parents needs to be studied because she's still a child and they're dressing her like she's 17 or 18. People defended it, but the discomfort only grew, and the whispers got louder, calling Beyoncé just as dirty as Jay, accusing them of already pimping Blue Ivy out, saying celebrities have a habit of turning their kids into currency. That sentiment didn't start with Blue Ivy, but her name keeps coming up for a reason, and people started watching her more closely. Blue Ivy constantly dodging paparazzi, running from cameras, avoiding attention while the adults around her push her further into it. That didn't sit right with people, and that's when Jaguar Wright's claims come back into focus. And suddenly Jay-Z's untouchable status looks less like luck and more like leverage. She's been saying this isn't random, that he's connected to the same dark web tying together Diddy, Weinstein, and Epstein, and that unlike Diddy, Jay is smarter, quieter, patient, the kind of person who doesn't get sloppy because he records everything.
He's got everybody on tape. They all know it. Sean Carter is worse. He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Then the conversation goes somewhere darker, alleging Jay-Z ran so-called child safaris in Africa for Epstein-linked elites, with accusers saying young children were trafficked under the cover of philanthropy and humanitarian work. Allegations that people say reframe his overseas charity trips in a much darker light.
Bombshell footage has surfaced from Africa, where Jay-Z has been accused of running child safaris for Jeffrey Epstein's VIP associates and the global elite.
And that's where people start arguing back to Jay's documented 2006 Angola visit, where he helped fund clean water pipelines after seeing children walk miles for drinkable water. Moment supporters say prove he's not the monster being painted, while critics argue that public charity can coexist with private darkness. Because people don't think silence just happens, Liz Crokin has alleged that a guest mysteriously died right before she was set to expose Jay-Z, a death that happened so conveniently close to the reveal that people immediately started asking whether it was a coincidence or a warning. That allegation alone is why so many people believe witnesses don't just disappear. They get erased right before they talk. That's the theory people keep circling. Why so many of his associates are either dead, disgraced, or behind bars, and he's still standing. If Jay allegedly has dirt on powerful people, tapes on big fish, receipts nobody wants released, then touching him becomes mutually assured destruction. And it's not just fringe voices anymore. Megyn Kelly openly questioned why Jay-Z has influence over Super Bowl performers, directly referencing his Epstein friendship and asking why someone with that background gets to decide what's appropriate for American children.
Jay-Z, for some reason, has got the choice over who performs at our Super Bowl, who's another problem. Don't even get me started on his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Why is he choosing who's appropriate for American children to watch during our seminal sporting event?
Others start reacting too. 50 Cent reacted publicly when Jay-Z's name started circulating in Epstein discussions, openly saying how crazy it was, and joking that he might have to do a whole documentary documentary, just to figure out how Jay even got thrown into that mix. When someone like Fifth stops trolling and starts sounding confused, that's when people know something serious is bubbling under the surface. And for once, the mask slips. Jay doesn't look relaxed. There's footage of him appearing panicked when his ride wasn't waiting, and reporters boxed him in, visibly shaken, exposed for a moment without his usual insulation.
Jay, your favorite album cover of all time. What up, big dog? Jay, your favorite album cover of all time. What was the one that you loved the most?
Right, that's too hard, man.
What?
Who you got for the game, Jay?
What TV show are you binge watching right now? Because you're the dude. You're my favorite rapper of all time.
Don't do me like that.
You're my favorite rapper of all time. That's why I'm just so curious.
You shouldn't do me like that.
I know. All right.
Shake hands.
All right.
Hey, I've never actually look. I'm gonna put this down.
And old footage starts getting replayed. Go back to 2007 and watch him struggle to explain how he met Beyoncé. No clean timeline, no clear answers, just discomfort.
Right into how did two of the biggest names in music even meet?
Well, we met a long time ago. Award shows, a lot of different performances.
That wouldn't matter if everything else was clean, but nothing around him stays clean under scrutiny. Then the theories stretch even wider, claiming Jay-Z and Pusha T were allegedly moving for Epstein-connected circles. A theory people say would explain how certain artists were insulated while others got thrown away the moment they became liabilities.
5 explaining how Jay-Z and Pusha T were drug dealers for Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein.
And then the emails resurface. Barclays CEO Jez Staley allegedly telling Epstein that the reason the US doesn't see mass uprisings like Brazil is because people are pacified by bread and circuses, hip-hop included, and saying the group that should be in the streets has been bought off by Jay-Z. And suddenly Kanye's old words don't sound random anymore, saying if people like Jay-Z ever told the truth, they'd go to jail, saying control is the real game and that he was never wrong, just early.
If you take people like Jay-Z and Pusha T, they made their living killing our people. You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth about anything, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars.
They can control Jay-Z and Beyoncé.
I know you, man.
But they can't control me.
People start digging up moments that never made sense back then. Harvey Weinstein snapping at a reporter in 2017, the moment Jay-Z's name came up in a question about Donald Trump, shutting it down instantly. Almost like Jay's name was off limits even back then. Watching it now, people say it looks less like annoyance and more like panic.
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration?
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Well, then can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is okay?
And people haven't forgotten Jay's long-standing proximity to Diddy, R. Kelly, Weinstein, Epstein, or the fact that his follower count allegedly dropped by millions after his name started circulating in Epstein discussions. And one image keeps coming back, allegedly showing Epstein surrounded by Diddy, Bill Gates, Jay-Z, Hillary, and Bill Clinton, and even Stephen Hawking on Epstein Island. And people aren't just sharing it for shock value anymore. They're zooming in on the roof lines, the island layout, comparing backgrounds, and asking why so many powerful names keep ending up in the same place at the same time. And once that door opens, nothing stays isolated. Jay-Z allegedly helped his nephew Naziah Carter avoid criminal charges after being accused of sexually assaulting 2 girls in college, with the case reportedly ending in a suspension instead of prosecution. And once that door opens, fans start stacking names. Foxy Brown, Aaliyah, Rihanna, even lyrics about Il Nana, plus sexual allegations tied to the dream and long-rumored abuse involving Beyoncé's own family. And Jaguar doesn't stop there. She goes further, describing freak-off parties, hidden cameras, unconscious victims transported on planes, and straight up saying Jay-Z and Beyoncé are a nasty little couple who did nasty things, with victims ready to testify. Others start backing the same picture. Former NFL player Larry Johnson has also described a party in the Colorado mountains with Jay-Z and Beyoncé, where children allegedly appeared late at night, including a moment he claims Beyoncé was grooming a child while saying, "Doesn't this look s***y?" And he says there are hundreds of victims, including children, ready to come forward.
We turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. So I hear B say something about, "Doesn't this look sexy?" or "Isn't this sexy?"
When you line it all up, the Epstein connections, the elite emails, the silence around Jay while everyone else falls, the early Of Blue Ivy, the panic moments, the tapes theory, Jaguar's allegation lands in a pattern people have been circling for years but were too scared to say out loud. So here's what people keep asking. If Jaguar is lying, why hasn't she been silenced the way others were? And if she's telling even part of the truth, who exactly is protecting Jay-Z? And what happens when the tapes stop being leverage and start being evidence?